Hey, thanks for coming out. I know with the weather and obviously, I think there's a big football game on tonight. Yeah, look, we're, credit to Northeastern. Billy is the reason why he's the winningest coach in CA history. We just couldn't really stop those guards. But I am proud of our guys. We had, I just didn't think we had enough force in the first half, and we played with, we came up with 50-50 balls, and we won by 12 on the glass in the second half, and lo and behold, that led to some open shots. I was really proud of Nenda's response, and Dylan's were both very mature. They came off the bench and helped us, and Christian might have had as good a game as certainly this year, but as good a game as he's had in quite some time.
What did you think was the difference, the cause of the difference in the energy in the first half?
I wish I knew, and it's been a, I love this group. We talked about that the other day, that, I thought we lost at Charleston because we didn't have force in the first half. We obviously shot the ball poorly on the road trip, but we shot the ball incredibly poorly at Wilmington and found a way to win. And we need to do that. I think in this day and age, we've got guys these guys have worked hard. It's shame to say this at times because it does fall on me. This group has spent more time working on shooting the ball than any group I've had. They're relentless about it, and I think sometimes your energy level is tied to shot making. I don't love that, but I think it's reality, and I think so. We did make some shots early, and we did the start, and then and like I said, they're a good team and they're well coached, and so that caused us to lose some energy, and you're just not gonna. We've won a lot of games, and I've been here, and this group's gonna win a lot of games. We don't normally just knock teams out, so we've got to get used to kind of grinding our way through that.
What were the changes you made in the second half? You'd started Dylan, I noticed, as well, in the second half.
Yeah. We're just looking to create some edge, energy. What gets the, we're missing a little bit at times the, Charlie, or even with Cam or Nick, they would light the locker room on fire sometimes, but you'd get a response. This group is like, they're like 10 gentlemen that if you had a daughter, you want them all to date your daughter. But sometimes when we step in between the lines, you're looking to, annihilate somebody, and we just need a little bit more of that. So we're still trying to find that.
So I notice with Nenda sometimes, I hope, when he drives, so that his head will go back, like he's looking for the call, and he's not getting it. It seemed like he got the call, but he wasn't really trying that as much tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good player that hasn't played as well as he'd like to lately, so we're just trying to get him back going, and I think what happens, and this is where, as a coach, I've got to do a better job, is just really get them to focus on one or two things that'll help us win games, and then when your game starts clicking, then you become really good. I think sometimes guys, they struggle with that because they say, I want to make shots, I want to get to the foul line, and then when that doesn't happen, then they'll compound those errors with defensive miscues or some turnovers, and then that's where it can have a snowball effect.
This wasn't where your defense wasn't great tonight, but
it was not.
Your three-point shooting, that and the rebound in the second half won the game, probably.
Yeah, it definitely did. I mean, look at what we're shooting for is the perfect game. How close can we get to playing 40 good minutes of basketball? It's probably never going to happen, but we've got to try to keep making strides doing that. And don't forget now, the other team has good players. They're well coached. They're prepared too. So it's not always that easy.
So last time you guys were home, we talked about how you were going to use the break for working on the lack of discipline and the communication on the court. Today, a lot of the game, we saw they had the speed, they had the energy, they had the intent, but they did not have the control, which is why I feel like they lost the ball a lot. Can you talk about getting them to focus a little bit?
Well, we had turnovers early, but 17-8 assist to turnover ratio, you'd lead the country. So you'd sign up for that. I think the biggest thing with this group is we've started to have a lot of practices. Whether the people that like us, support us, or don't like us, want to hear it or not, when you practice once in 18 days and you don't have a lot of bodies out there, there's some slippage. We've been able to have a lot of practices, and right now Northeastern's banged up. So we went through that earlier in the year. It's not easy to get through that. Hopefully we don't have to deal with that again. If we don't, then we'll continue to get better. We got good players, great kids that like each other.
Are you looking more forward to CAA play instead of, the other games where you guys are traveling a bunch?
Our hardest travel is all past us at this point. It's all past us, yes.
Pat, when you look at the season that Christian's had, obviously the injuries have been a factor in trying to find a rhythm of some kind or another. Do you feel like tonight moves that in the right direction for not just the shooting, but those rebounds and assists are pretty nice?
I certainly hope so, right? If you have 2, 3, 4 guys playing at all league levels, you certainly look like you're coaching a little bit. When you don't look like you're as good a coach. It's still a player's game. I think he's an all league level player that really, and Bryant game is started a trend in the right direction. And he needs to continue to do that for us. I think he will.
What's the key with Caleb right now? It's a pretty decent game.
Caleb's playing great. Caleb the other day, President Kinsberg's down there, played against the best player in the league. We didn't double, had 10 rebounds. And Caleb's a big piece. He reminded me a little bit of Charlie tonight with some flagrant ones. That was Charlie's specialty.
Right, we like that.
Yeah, we do. We like that. So Caleb's doing great. We're asking him to do a lot. The only reason I'm not really starting him is I'm worried about him fouling, and sometimes he can see the game a little bit. But he's still we got to continue to get him better on offense. But he plays so hard for a young guy. He's having a good year for us.
Pat, real quick, I'm sorry I was
Yes.
late. I apologize. Spiro had me in the Greek headlock over there. The guys coming off the bench. I said this on the air. Last year I watched the Wizards take Jordan Poole and just pull him off the bench for a couple minutes and it turned his season. Tarkin Williamson seemed to play really well. Their minutes were the same, but they played better. Was that just to take a look?
Yeah.
You pulled the right strings.
We didn't. I don't know about that,
Well,
but
I
we
just say that-
just didn't. Those guys didn't have as good a weekends as we need them to have, and they're good teammates. They handle it very mature. We're just trying to. We hadn't made shots till tonight, so we've been just saying, hey, if we can't make shots, because we're obviously not trying to miss shots, how do we get these guys to play with incredible edge and force? So you're just trying to. Sometimes
You put Dylan back in the second half, and
Yeah,
it worked.
yeah. I'm gonna tell you, I make the most mistakes. I make the most decisions. So, so we're still trying to figure it out.
I'm just saying the results. You got to be happy when you do something like that, and they both play well, took good shots.
No, I agree.
Tark took over the game. I thought
He was
I thought they both
tremendous.
played great.
Yeah, he was tremendous. Yeah, he was. He was great.
Coaching.
Yeah, they both. Him and Chris are coming in. Thanks, guys. See you up in Philly.
Yeah, we'll see you Philly, Pat.
Start with a statement about today's game and today's win.
It was a good win, good team win. We were finally able to make some shots, get some stops. Like, they're a good team. They got a lot of wins on the year. But everyone on our team played together. We played well. We fought through adversity. We just, stopped the bleeding when they went on their run, and just a good team win overall.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say kind of the same thing he said. We've had a good week of practice. I think we played together really well today. I think we responded really well in the second half, going into halftime down. Came out, responded really well, played hard, played together. I feel like we just got to keep this thing going.
And then how did it feel? Come off the bench?
Different. It's always different. But you just got to embrace it. When I get in the game, I got to make the most of my opportunity. And tonight I did.
You played more minutes though than you did coming off the bench.
Yeah. With coach, it's really just like however you're playing. He's gonna roll with you. So if you're playing well, he's gonna roll with you, and if you're not, then he won't. And that's just reality of sports. So there's no need to feel sorry for yourself or be down on yourself if you don't start or lose your position. Just work hard, and the results will show.
Christian, how big was that performance tonight? Not just by you, but by the team.
Yeah, that was a huge win, like I just said before. Felt good to see some shots go in and then get on the glass. I feel like I just need to hold myself to a higher standard, play harder. I feel like I did that today. And the coach has been giving me confidence all week in practice, talking to me, so it felt good going into the game, for sure.
I guess you guys emphasize rebounding at the half.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we were down, I think 6, and that's something we stress, something we pride ourselves on. So I think what did we finish up like 8 or something? So
Six.
up 7,
Six.
up 6. So
Plus 12.
plus 12 in the second half. So I mean, he definitely got on us at halftime about rebounding and just playing Towson basketball. So I'm glad we were able to flip it and get the win.
Along those lines, just what do you think accounted for the energy difference? Because you guys looked a lot different on that front, first half to second.
I feel like Coach said, Tark said at halftime, he got into us a little bit. We know that we could play a lot harder. We got some great players on our team. We weren't playing to our full potential. Coming out with that energy kind of suppressed them scoring and got us going on a run. I feel like we need to do that every half, and we're capable of it. So.
You guys had 17 assists today, second most. Can you just speak about how you were sharing the ball today?
Yeah, when we share the ball, it's going to be hard to beat us. I mean, I feel like that's something we've been struggling with throughout the year. So when we play like that, everybody gets going, everybody swings the ball, we're playing together. It's really hard to beat us. So.
And eventually more shots start to go in.
For
We've
sure.
been struggling to make shots really the whole season. So just keeping the ball moving, making the right play. Eventually good shooters will make their shots,
We talked about what Pat said in the preseason a lot about you trying to be Derrick Henry and get down there. But it seems like you weren't getting calls, but tonight you just kind of more relaxed and just didn't worry about the refs.
Yeah, it's tricky because like when I'm out there, I'm really getting a lot of contact, but it just depends on the crew. Some games they'll give it to you, some games they're not, and it's hard to continue to do it when it's not working. But you got to just stick with it. I mean, I'm glad I was able to get some calls tonight. Tomorrow I might not get a call. It's just the nature of the game. But I'm gonna keep driving. I'm gonna keep attacking. And if they blow the whistle, they blow the whistle, and if they don't, they don't. But it's my job to attack the rim and keep going. So that's what I got to do.
Can you guys speak a little bit about you guys coming back in the second half? You guys struggled a lot with communication in the first half, passing between each other. And then you came out in the second half and you kind of got more on the same page, but still were moving too fast. Can you talk about, your tempo and practice and trying to be on the same page?
Yeah, I mean, you want.
You got it.
Like we do practice like playing fast in practice and stuff like that, but sometimes the game speed and the defense just kind of throws you off a little bit. It just took us a while to settle in the game, but once we did, and we gotta just keep talking to each other. When the ball's dead, we huddle up, regroup, and in those times, in those moments, we just lock each other in, and then eventually things will work itself out.
They came out playing really aggressive defense, and I think that kind of stunned us a little bit. In the second half, we kind of slowed down, didn't let them get into us, and played our game. I think that really helped.
Yeah, they were speeding us up just a little bit in the first half, which messed with our timing and our communication, like you said. But second half, we relaxed and their pressure released, and we were good.